And we are live. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. My name is James. I'm going to be your host. And with me tonight, I have a good friend of mine that I've known for a couple years by the name of Chad St. Pay. Chad St. Pay.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, man, Chad. I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Yeah,
you
me
are
too.
going to be taking out charters now, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And where are you going to go out of?
I launch out of Shell Beach over at Campo's Marina.
Okay.
Do a little bit up in Violet, Shell Beach, Hopedale, dabble a little bit in on the backside of Delacroix a little bit. But I launch out of Campo's Marina.
That's wow. And what are you primarily going to be fishing for?
Trout, speckled trout, redfish, drum, white trout when we can, get hold of them. Flounder when we can occasionally find them.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have been getting some bass and some freshwater cats down there too now and then. So.
Oh yeah, there've been a lot of bass in there lately.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, if you've never caught a marsh bass, everybody who watches my show knows I'm a huge fan of bass. And the marsh bass are fat. They sit in there and they gobble up shrimp by the thousand.
Excuse me.
And they get fat, and also they're about the most green bass I've ever seen. They're beautiful.
Right.
The only thing I don't like about catching them in the marsh is I'm usually using a medium or medium heavy spinning rod with 30-pound braid. And you don't, I don't care how big he is, you're not going to get much of a fight, but I'm hoping for a 20-pound red.
Right.
And you got to have if I'm using small bass spinning equipment and I hook into a 20-pound red, I have a very small chance of getting him.
Right.
He's going to bury himself in those weeds and gone. Or he's going to get out there with the tide and be, 100 yards out and snap.
Yeah, just enough to make you, yell, curse, or cry.
Oh, yeah. I've been known to have a fit or two while fishing.
I think we all have, Jay.
So Cajun, Outcast, Inshore charters, folks, if you want to get a hold of Chad, I highly recommend him. I've fished against him. I've never fished with him. We're hopefully going to be getting out on his boat soon. But just like I put on my crawler Facebook, the Cajun Outcast Inshore charters, all of his contact information is on that Facebook page. Go ahead and give him a call. The guys you've lived down there your whole life, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I was born and raised down here, down in Chalmette, and I've fished Hopedale and Shell Beach all my life. I did move away for about 4 or 5 years right after Katrina. I went up to Jackson, Mississippi for a little while.
A lot of people did.
And just was not home. I didn't care for the fishing up there and just the whole way of life, I guess. I mean, this is home for me.
Stuff's different down on the coast. I lived in
it's not on the coast. Jackson's up kind of in about the middle of Mississippi.
I mean, where you're from, stuff's different on the coast, man. It's different than in Jackson, Mississippi. I lived down there in Morgan City, and I just didn't see the same climate as over in Shell Beach and Hopedale and Chalmette. I think things are just a lot more laid back down there, and folks are a lot friendlier.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you're from down here. I mean, everybody kind of knows everybody. So, I mean, it's hard to walk into any place of business down here and I don't run across somebody I know.
Or 8 people,
Right. I mean, my wife kind of like hates me going to the store with her because, there's no just running in and out because I just happen to run across somebody I know and we stop in the aisle and start talking.
Now we chat around,
Right.
We chat around, man. That is awesome. I am excited about you starting as a charter boat captain.
I am too. I mean, I am new to the chartering, but I mean, I've been fishing all my life. I've fished down here all my life, and I guess what made me get started was, I mean, we have Cajun Outcast Fishing Club.
Oh, absolutely.
And this year, I want to say it's like August of this year, we'll make 4 years that we started it.
Nice.
And we got, it's I think 11,200 or right at 11,200 members worldwide. Me and a couple buddies, Gary, Gary Dubriel,
he's been on already. The show. Yeah.
Him and I and some friends of ours started this club. And it was just to kind of promote fishing, man, because I mean, we all just a bunch of, you know, guys that love to fish and you know, like to get people more involved in it and help them. So we started that Facebook page, and it just blew up. And I had people constantly calling me or messaging me or texting me, asking me to take them on charters. And I'm like, man, I'm not a captain. You know,
No.
I'm just average guy like you that likes to fish. Excuse me.
And you don't want to be taking people out if you're not for money. If
No,
you're not
right,
paying.
right. You know,
No.
so I mean, I've taken friends and stuff out, you know,
Oh,
and I mean,
absolutely.
made a lot of new friends through the club, and we just, you know, everybody kind of chips in and helps out with gas and ice and bait and everything, and we just done it like that. But it was never, you know, I never done any chartering, you know, nothing like that illegally. But I sat and thought about it for a while, and you know, I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, you know, man, this, you know, may not be a bad little thing to get into, you know. So I went and got my license, and you know, got set up to do everything, and went and got, you know, everything I need, and here I am. You know, I'm trying to just get it going.
And you know, guys, Chad just mentioned the Cajun Outcast Fishing Club, and that's a Facebook page, Cajun Outcast Fishing Club.
Right.
Just go ahead and log on to that. It's one thing I don't like about a lot of fishing pages is if you post a picture and it dares look like you're going to take those fish home and eat them. Oh, here come all the negative comments. If you post a
Right.
picture and you're not, you know, oh, you're showing off. I've caught them bigger than that. That kind of stuff doesn't happen on Cajun Outcast. And that's why
No.
it's done so well.
Yeah, I mean, we keep it, you know, try to keep the drama and that out of it, man. You know, fishing's supposed to be about fun and having, you know, bringing your family and friends together and just having a good time. And we, you know, like you said, I've seen some of them other pages, and they just kind of, they go off the wall with some of that, you
Yeah.
know. And I mean, if you don't use certain baits and lures and tackle, you know, they jump all over you. And I don't care what you fish with, you know. I mean, as long as you're doing it legally and you're having fun and you're having a good time, that's, you know, that's what it's about, you know. I love seeing, you know, like little kids fishing and catching their first trout or their first, you know, big red, and just
That's
seeing
what
the
you're going to like
expression on their face.
That's what you're going to like about guiding, because you will have the opportunity to take kids out and teach them how to do that. They've probably gone out before with dad, and they probably caught, you know, a couple of, you know, little hardheads.
Right.
And they're going to go out with you, and they're going to catch their first speckled trout, and it's 13 inches long, and it's coming in, it's flopping all over the place, it's sliming everywhere. And you're going to grab it. You're going to say, look at this thing, look at this thing, look at this yellow mouth. And they're going to shriek with excitement, and you're going to love it.
Well, I mean, you know, I have 4 kids, so
Yes, you do.
I've seen it. I've seen it with my kids. You know, with the club, we were throwing a kids rodeo every year, and COVID really slowed us down and kind of killed it the last 2 years. But Gary and I are trying to work on getting that up and going again.
Good.
We have it down here at Torres Park, and you know, I mean, I think the last year we had it, I want to say we had about 125 kids, maybe.
Wow.
And some of them's never fished before. Some of them have and never really caught anything. And I think just about every kid that came caught something out of that pond, whether it had been a catfish or a little bass or, you know, a little perch. In fact, the little girl who won it, I want to say it's Gary's niece or Gary's great niece, something like that. She had a 12-pound catfish that she caught out of Torres Park. The fish was almost as big as she was.
Dang.
So, you know,
so what are you catching this time of the year you're going to take people out on charters for?
We are catching a couple of specks and some reds. You know, you got to kind of ride around and look for them a little bit. But
yeah, the reds are in transition right now, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
they're kind of moving out of the marsh out to.
What's that?
They're kind of moving out to their summer spots.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, so you got to kind of bounce around a little bit. But I mean, we've been finding some.
And down there where you're at, there's no guys. Chad is fishing out of some of the best places in the world, literally for numbers.
Down here is some of the best fishing, like you said. I mean, I've fished a couple of places, and it's just nothing like down here.
There are places like Venice and like North Carolina where you might find bigger redfish,
right?
But you won't find more,
right?
Out there in Florida, you find an occasional redfish. I talked to people out there that says, yeah, we caught a red one time. I'm like, one time? I've caught 30 of them in a day.
I think Venice is still doing okay. Venice and down that way, they've been doing okay with reds. From what I'm being told. I mean, I haven't fished down that way since I was a kid, but
well, they're all funneling down through Venice right now.
Right.
That is, man, I want to go out fishing in Venice someday. That's why I got to get my own boat, Chad. I got to.
It helps.
Go down to Venice, and, man. But you know, with the way that things are warming up right now, the fishing will stabilize soon.
Oh yeah, it's raring up now, you know. So and probably I'd say in the next couple of weeks or so, it's going to be on fire down here.
So how many people can you take out in your boat at a time?
I can fish 4 pretty comfortably. 5 if you kind of know what you're doing. I have a 23-foot Key West, the 230 Bay Reef, and I have it powered with a 300 Suzuki. You know, we got iPilot, got twin power poles on the back, Lowrance GPS system. So I mean, it's tricked out pretty nice. You know, like I said, I've had 5 of us on the boat. You know, well 5 guys plus me. It can be done. But you got to kind of watch. You know, you got to really look behind you before you cast.
Yeah, you got to watch that back cast. I understand. I guided for 17 years. I've been hooked from back cast before, and it hurts.
You know, so I try to keep it at, you know, I'm comfortable with 4.
Yeah,
you know, because I can kind of put 2 up on the bow, 2 towards the back, and I can kind of hide out in the middle and not get hooked. You know, but I mean, I've had 5 people on the boat already with me. You know, well, sure. 5 plus me. Like I said, it can be done. You know, now I mean, if I really won't do 6. You know, I mean, I'm licensed to, but I don't want 6. It's just too much. So I have other friends that are captains and that. So if need be, I could always call and get a second boat involved.
Sure.
You know, or 2 or 3 if I really need it. You know, if we have a big party, but you know, right now, like I said, I try to keep it at 4 on my boat.
Okay, for those of I have a lot of listeners all over the country, particularly up north where I'm from. So tell people what the limits are and size limits and possession limits.
Speckled trout, you're 25 per angler. The size is 12 inches is the minimum. You know, maximum there is none. You know, you got a lot of guys that say throwing back after 20, and I mean that's kind of optional on you. You know, redfish, it's 5 per person. You know, minimum 16 inches, and yeah, out of the 5 you're able to keep, only 1 can be 27 and over. So you got 1 bull red and 4 slots.
Okay.
You know, and it's same thing with drum. You know, with black drum.
And guys, if you get 5 reds between 16 and 27 inches,
you got a little meat.
Oh yeah, and that meat is delicious.
Oh yeah.
I've heard if you cook speckled trout the day that you catch them, and I have a few times. I usually don't keep speckled trout because, you know, I live so far away. It's an 85. It's a 2.5 hour drive, and I just don't like to waste fish. So you know, I'll keep redfish, or if I'm camping down like in Grand Isle, or if I'm staying in a place that has cooking facilities down there, I'll eat specks, but because then I can cook them the day I catch them, and they're delicious.
Oh, I mean, I'd rather them, you know, cook and same day I caught, but I mean, we'd have frozen, you know, trout and that in the freezer when we need to, and we never really had any issues. But I mean, it is better, you know, same day you catch it.
Of course, also in all fairness, so are all fish.
True.
All fish are better the day that you catch them. You know, I've literally eaten halibut that were killed with a fillet knife and cooked right then.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm spoiled. Catching those fish out there in my friend's boat in Alaska, that was beautiful. But yeah, you know, guys, if you've never experienced catching a redfish, do yourself a favor, put it on your bucket list, do whatever you got to do. You get down here to South Louisiana and with a guy who grew up on the coast. he knows the coast. He's going to get you, and he's a licensed captain. He's going to get you out there. The marsh is dangerous. It doesn't look dangerous because you're not going to have 12 to 20-foot waves like you do up in Alaska. But there's a lot of hidden dangers out there that these guys know where they're at. And
yeah, there's stumps and rocks and you name it tucked underneath there. And I mean, I've bumped quite a few personally. I know, friends and other captains I know that's towing up their boats and stuff, doing the same thing. So we definitely start marking them and know where not to go.
Yes. And that's why, I said I wanted my own boat, but I'm going to be gun shy for the first 10 years. And Chad did his first 10 years before he was 20.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I definitely feel more confident when I'm out with one of these guys, because also the marsh can be confusing if you've never been there. I mean, every bit of grass looks like every other bit of grass to me, and every channel looks like every other channel, and I get excited when I'm going out. And
yeah, there's still a couple spots that I'm not real familiar with. I kind of got a lot of areas that I tend to stick to and I know really well, but have been kind of venturing out and trying different areas, and really got to kind of, put your marks in on your GPS, because if not, you will get turned around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Hopedale and Shell Beach, I do really well with. Delacroix kind of turns me around a little bit, just mainly because I never really fished it a whole lot growing up. We spent a lot of time in Violet and Shell Beach and Hopedale. So Delacroix, I know a little bit. I'm learning more and more every time I go out that way. But to me, Delacroix turns me around a little faster than Hopedale and Shell Beach. But I've been fortunate. I ain't never gotten completely lost where I was stuck. It just may have took a minute, but I got back in, never had any issues.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's very fortunate. I've gotten turned around on some of the lakes up north, like up in Canada, and it's scary. I was just glad that a guy just happened to be coming by us, and we ran over to him and help. Where's the lodge?
Yeah, I've been up to North Carolina and fished with some family up that way when I was younger, and got a little turnaround up there. But I mean, I think my buddy was kind of messing with me more than anything. But we were a lot younger, man. We were probably about 12, 13 years old, and out in Daddy's little boat, and he was. I'm kind of looking around like, dude, how do we get back home? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he got us back in. I think he was just kind of playing around. Like I said, we were a bunch of little young teenagers.
So on an average guide trip, are you going to use live shrimp?
I do bring live, but I mean, I have a ton of tackle. I have a couple of guys that are just getting into the tackle business and all that. I approach that for and try to help them out and get them going. I mean, I have, stuff they sell in the stores, Matrix and all that, and, great baits, but I'm trying to help some of these guys that are just getting started, like Drake Baits, Mojo
Shrimp. Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine in Texas, Kelly Levine with L&L Lures. He sends me some stuff to try out, and they all make great baits, and they're all different, they all make different colors. So it's not like I have to choose between the same bait, and say, okay, well, who's I'm going to use today? It's like I said, they're all different kinds and different colors, and so I have quite a few guys that I try to help out, and they help me, and like I said, man, they all make great baits.
Yeah, I definitely like that Mojo shrimp. I've caught fish on that. Lots of them, guys.
Yeah, I'm really liking that new Pineapple Express he came with.
Yes. I can't say enough about and also the one I call tiger shrimp. He doesn't call it tiger shrimp, but
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, but the Pineapple Express, when he came out with it, he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, man, that is going to be fire. Yeah. And we were kind of kicking the idea around. He was trying to come up with a name for it. And I was jokingly around, just, man, Pineapple Express. And he was like, okay. So I'm a little partial to it because I kind of helped name it. But
So
I mean, the bait itself is just fire.
that's a household name, and if you're an inshore fisherman nowadays.
Yeah, then the purple rain that he came out with, that light purple shrimp, I'm done pretty well with that one as well. But that Pineapple Express, that little tiger shrimp you talking about,
Yep.
they're they're all good. I mean, I've every color that he has, I've tried them all and I've caught on them all. I just that Pineapple Express has been lately, that's my go-to. I mean, it's on my pole ready to go every time I go fishing.
And guys, he's talking about the Mojo shrimp and the Pineapple Express. I sat there and watched the owner of the company, Greg Combo, catch a 31-inch red on a 2-inch Mojo shrimp color Pineapple Express.
Yeah, you went out on a trip with him not too long ago, right?
Yeah, and we caught fish. As soon as it warmed up a little bit, about 9 o'clock, we started catching fish, and we just caught fish until noon when, just like you, I'm recovering from surgery as well, and I just couldn't fish anymore. My side hurt from all the casting and all the bringing in fish,
Yeah, I'm glad to finally be back on the water. I was down for a while with some back surgery and finally, getting that done and over with. I mean, I had the surgery, I guess going on 4 months now, 4 weeks that I'm out, not 4 months, 4 weeks. Still got to take it a little easy, but I'm getting back out there little by little and getting going again.
It's good to see you up and around, man.
Oh yeah, I was down too long.
It's great to see you up and around.
But yeah, man, you put that Pineapple Express and a Undertaker cork together, and it's just a winning combination.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But I mean, look, I both great baits, but like I said, I mean, I've Kelly Levine with L&L makes one. It's called the Croaker, and it's kind of like a croaker color, and I do really well with those. Drake Baits makes a really, a couple of different baits that I like.
There's a guy out there he moved to Mississippi after Ida.
Excuse me.
But he was living in Grand Isle, and he would catch 30-inch trout on croakers regularly in the summertime. So yeah, I agree with that croaker.
And then I mean, if something happens, they're not hitting on plastic. If you got, some of Campo's live shrimp, I mean, you can't go wrong there neither.
Well, live shrimp, the only problem I see with live shrimp is that the little pinfish sometimes peck it to death. But then sometimes when the pinfish are pecking it to death, all of a sudden your cork goes down.
Right.
Because a bigger fish came up and says, "Get away from my food."
Right.
Man, but yeah, everything in the marsh eats shrimp, from the biggest redfish to the smallest little pinfish and everything in between. You can't go wrong with live shrimp. And if you got people who are inexperienced with fishing, boy.
Yeah, it's when you got, people that's not really familiar with fishing and all, it's live shrimp is kind of the way to go with them. And then once they start hitting, I'll switch over to plastics with them, but and see if we can continue to bite. But I kind of do it all, I mean, I have a ton of different kinds of artificial, and I tend to bring live shrimp with me as well. Sometimes I'll bring a pound or two of dead bait, sometimes that's what they want,
So do you provide the tackle too? You provide the fishing rods?
I bring, I supply rod and reels. I mean, you're more than welcome to bring your own. I mean, some people like, their own rod and reels, but I supply rod and reels. I have all the tackle we need. I normally get 200-300 shrimp, depending on how many people we got going. The only thing you really need to bring with me is whatever you want to, drink and snack on. Sunblock and bug spray.
Yeah.
Bring a little ice chest, so when we get back, I'll clean and bag your fillets, and you have something to haul at home in, and keep them on ice. But you don't really need to bring much.
And guys, I'm telling you, if you're not from down here, you might not know this, because I did a lot of fishing up north. I mean, lots and lots and lots of fishing. The sun's different down here. and it will bake you.
Hmm.
Bake you. I have been so severely sunburned down here, I was not able to go to work. And I fished on Saturday. I could not go to work on Monday. My face was so swollen.
Well, I think
So
when you came and fished our little rodeo with the club, I think you got a little pink that day too.
I did. I'm hard headed. I don't learn very quickly. I
Think that's
have
a lot of us.
I have sunblock now. I actually went out and bought some. I'm gonna try to wear it, but I didn't wear it in the first 3 trips this year.
Yeah, that's one thing you kind of learn to do real quick down here is get sunblock.
Hard head. That's what you can call me.
But yeah, I mean, when you come out with me, I mean, I'll you need me to bait your line and all that, I'll bait your line. I'll take your fish off for you, whatever you need me to do. I'll help you out. Especially the beginners. I'm there to teach them and try to get them going.
Yeah, well, guys, I know Chad. I've talked to him for 2 years now. I met him in person a couple of times. We're gonna go fishing together.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen.
I highly recommend him as a captain to go out. I know quite a few of the captains down there now, and pretty much they're all good guys. But I highly recommend Chad as well. He's just a good guy, and I can tell just by his personality. With me being a professional guide for 17 years, I know what it takes to be a good captain. And it's only about 15% fishing, and all the rest of it is customer service.
I certainly do my best. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of captains down here. I don't know them all. I know a lot of them, and I mean, everybody down here is, all great guys. I mean, we'll wave to each other back and forth. When we see each other, we'll stop and chit chat for a minute. I mean, all the guys down here are good guys.
Yeah, that was always my favorite time when I was guiding. When I was guiding weeknights, and we'd get done guiding. We all got our boats on the trailers. We're just waiting. The park closed at 10. It's 9:45, and we're just sitting on my tailgate drinking a beer together. And
right
before it's time to drive home after a very, very long day. So I had to be at work at 6 a.m. and here I am. It's 10 p.m. I got an hour drive home, and I got to be up at 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, that makes for a rough day the next day.
But I got to go fishing. That's all that mattered to me. I was also 15 years younger than I am now, and about 60 pounds lighter. So,
oh man, I'm still my wife still makes fun of me because like if I know I got a trip the next day, I have a hard time going to sleep.
Oh yeah,
it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It just don't come fast enough. I'm laying in bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just kind of looking at the clock like I'm ready to go. She'll roll over and she's like, "You need to get some sleep," and I'm like, "I'll sleep enough when I'm dead. I'm ready to go fishing."
I'm up at 2 on my phone. Damn. Up at 4:30. Damn. Well, I'm getting up. I watch TV till it's time to go.
And that's kind of like me. I'm just always ready to be on the water, man. I just love being out there.
And it'd be nice to live down where you're at because I have a 2.5-hour drive, and it's not all fun. Driving that when you get on Highway 10, it's just not all fun. But the way I look at it, I'm going through traffic. I get to go fish. Well, hey man, Chad, I appreciate you. I know you're a very busy man. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on and talk to our viewers.
Oh man, I appreciate the invite.
Podcast. And you know what? I appreciate everybody for tuning in to this podcast. I'm Chad St. Pay, charter boat captain, president of the Cajun Outcast Fishing Club, and I'm sure you wear several other hats as well.
You mind if I give a couple shout outs?
Of course. I forgot about shout outs. That was my mistake, man. Please do some shout outs. I can't believe I forgot that. I've only done 500 of these.
What's that?
I've only done 500 of these. I can't believe I forgot that.
First, I'd like to thank my wife and kids and my family and friends for just being real supportive and helping me chase my dreams and everything they've been through with me over the years. Gary Dubriel for helping me out with the club and being my VP. I mean, he's definitely my right-hand man when it comes to the club. Kenny Krieger with Undertaker Corks, Robbie Campo with Campo's Marina, Bo Gentiles with Bo's Custom Rods, Greg Campbell with Mojo Tackle, Keith Fusell with Red Alert Lures and Cajun Reels, Kelly Levine with L&L Lures, Paul Bates with Filazol Blades, Chip Clements with Sinkers by the Pound, Steve Burkell with Allset TV, Drake, Drake, please forgive me because I know I'm going to pronounce your last name wrong. It's Drake Poissant with Drake Bates, and Drake, I apologize,
There's
man.
one of those names again. Yeah.
Yeah. And Christian Orfanello with Cito of New Orleans.
I had to have Gary. Gary, please tell me how to pronounce your last name. He's like, it's Dubriel.
My last name gets torn to shreds because it's not spelled the way it's pronounced. So,
yeah. Well, you also heard me. I asked you the first time, how do I pronounce that name?
Yeah. It's St. Pay, and it's spelled ST.PE. There's, like a little hyphen over the E that just normally doesn't get put there. So people destroy my last name, but
I wouldn't even know I wouldn't even know where that hyphen is on my keyboard.
It's not. You gotta play with a couple of different buttons at one time to get it on. I don't even know how to do it on the keyboard.
Okay. Well, yeah, man, I do apologize about the whole shout-outs thing. Of course, you can do shout-outs on my show. Of course.
Hey, no problem, man. I just wanted to thank everybody who's supported me and backed me. I mean, thank you as well, Jay, because since you and I met and became friends, you've been a huge supporter of the club, and now with my charters, and I just want to let everybody know how much I appreciate them all.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that as well. Well, anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in to Let's Talk Fishing Podcast. This time I really am going to end it. And I'm very thankful to Chad for reminding me what I should be doing. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Thank y'all. Hope to hear from y'all.